Hello all. Today, Group 15 is here to give a presentation on a study on the causes and impact of farmer suicide in India. Here are the respective group members. These are the topics covered by the members. Objective of the project. The objective of our project are as follows: to find the causes and reasons of farmer suicide in India. It also makes an attempt to understand the perception of people towards the situation of farmers, and also to know what are the various policies and laws made by government for the removal of this issue. Research methodology. The primary data was collected through Google form from 25 respondents, and secondary data was collected through various internet websites like in Times of India, fastread.com, etc. Also, the data was collected from various books, magazines, and journals. Hello, I am Sanika, and I am going to give introduction on the topic. Agriculture. Agriculture is primary sector in India. Despite the fastest growth of secondary and tertiary sector, a vast majority of people depend on agriculture for their livelihood. It contributes to more than 15% to India's GDP. There are many programs being came up for the development of farmers like Green Revolution, where farmers can take various modern methods for the cultivation. But do you think is everything good going and admirable in Indian agriculture? The answer is no. Farmers face various issues which give rise to the problem called farmer suicide. Let's see what is farmer suicide. Farmer suicide in India refers to the national catastrophe of farmers committing suicide due to their inability to repay loans, mostly taken from private landlords and banks. They live in a deliberate poor condition and owe to government negligence on their part. Various reasons like crop failure, indebtedness, makes farmer get hanged or consume poison, ending one's life. Looking back at the history of farmer suicide, India woke up with this challenge in 1960s, and Maharashtra was the first state where farmer suicide was reported. Further, the states of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, West Bengal also faced this issue in 1966 and 1970. Even in the mid of COVID-19 lockdown too, the farmers who had debt and did not find any way out had led to the helpless situation of committing suicide. Over to Shakti.
Causes of farmer suicide. Suicide is caused by many factors, and there is an empirical evidence to believe that this is a phenomenon that could be contagious in India, where farmers are committing suicide. Some of the causes like environment, low produce price, stress and family responsibility, etc. Let's analyze it. The surge in input cost, a major cause of the farmer society in India, has been the increasing burden on the farmer due to the inflated price of agricultural input, cost of chemical and seeds, the fertilizer, crops protection, chemical, or even the seed for the cultivation. Farming has become expensive for the already in-debt farmer. Cost of agricultural equipment, the input costs, moreover, aren't limited to the basic raw material. Labor costs, likewise hiring labor and animals is getting costlier too. Lack of direct integration with market. Although initiatives like the National Agriculture Market and contract farming are helping to integrate the farmers' produce directly with the market, lack of awarenesses due to the digital divide as well as the literacy gap has made the marginal and small farmers to unable to utilize the government policies. Water crisis. The causes of water crisis are lower yield and deaths of animals. It also results in the hunger, poverty, and thirst. Climate change. Temperature change can cause the habitable range and crop planting dates to shift, and droughts and flood. Due to the climate change may hinder the farming practice. Over to Vaishnavi.
Impact of farmer suicide. First point, unbearable death of head of the family. An earning person is emotionally shocking for those left behind, and this leads to financial difficulties of losing the family man and lost the big support. Second, widows getting many responsibility after her husband death, as she has to face the current situation and take care herself and her family member and children education too. Sometimes widows has to face by all the problems by alone. Some farmers in India are very poor, as widows has to think about two-time food and shelter too. This condition of poor farmer in India is very bad and that should get reduced in future. Third, suicide by a farmer in the family trigger a wide range of psychological and social disturbance, often resulting in anxiety, depression, and pathological grief and difficulties in social area. Fourth, farmers putting their piece of land as mortgage land, and if they unable to redeem that land on time, then they have to give that land. And many times this is happening, moving from farmers own farm labor status to permanent labor status. Fifth, many farmers in India having more debt rather than their annual income, and many times they fail to pay off money, and this leads to farmer suicide. Also, farmers' family to pay the debt after his death, and other family member attempting suicide, then they have to unable to pay and unable to handle the current situation, then this leads to farmer suicide, and this leads to children losses their both the parents. 7 point, farms and animals are confiscated due to inability to pay back high interest loans, and there is also loss of asset, that is domestic animals and agricultural implements. 8 point, child labor. All the all the due to points impact, child labor is number is increasing, and many farmers unable to give the attention the child labor, and they are become malnourished. Thank you. Over to Abdul.
Hello everyone, I'm Abdul Rahim. I'm talking about statistics of farmer suicide in India. In year 2020, many people commit suicide. In year 2020, overall 10,677 people engaged in the commit suicide in the farm sector. Farmer suicide made up 7% of all in our country. Most of these deaths were among those whose primary work and main source of income comes from agriculture and horticulture. The worst among states continue to be Maharashtra with 4,006 suicides in the farm sector, including a 50% increase in farm worker suicide. Other states with a poor record include Karnataka 2016, Andhra Pradesh 889, and Madhya Pradesh 735. Number of suicide records since 2014. Here we have two series. First is agriculturist and second is business person. In 2014, 12.4 thousand people commit suicide in agriculturist and 9.9 thousand people commit suicide in business sector. In year 2019, 10.3 thousand people commit suicide in agriculturist and 9.1 thousand people commit suicide in business sector. In year 2020, 10.7 thousand people commit suicide in agriculturist and 11.7 thousand people commit suicide in business sector. Thank you. Over to Cesar.
Do you think farmer suicide exists in India? According to the survey concluded, it has came to the notice that around 72% of the people strongly agree that farmer suicide still exists in India. Will you try to stop it if you witness it? According to the survey analysis, 92% of the crowd are willing to stop this major issue of farmer suicide. Economy and growth of the country gets affected due to this issue. According to the survey, 60% of the people strongly agree that economy and growth affects due to this issue, but there are 36% of the crowd who partially agrees the same. Farmer suicide adversely affects his family. According to the survey report, 84% of the crowd strongly believe that farmer's family suffers a lot. Will the problem of farmer suicide be totally eradicated in future? According to the survey analysis, only 36% of the crowd believe that problem can be eradicated in the future, but majority are still unanswerable. Over to FEBA.
The suggestions are providing remunerative prices to farm produce. The minimal support price is an advisory price signal that is a part of the larger set of agriculture policies in parts of India. This informal support price is recommended by the government and aims to safeguard the farmer to a minimum profit for the harvest while at the same time increasing food security in the country. Second, providing or creating irrigation facilities. Irrigation is the agricultural process of applying controlled amount of water to land to assist in the production of crops as well as to grow landscape, plants and lawns where it may be known as watering. Agriculture that does not use irrigation but instead relies on a direct rainfall is referred to as rain-fed. Third, crop insurance. Crop insurance is purchased by agricultural producers and government producers and subsidized by the federal government to protect against either the loss of their crops due to natural disaster such as hail, drought and flood, or the loss of the revenue due to the declines in the prices of agricultural commodities. The two general categories of crop insurance are crop yield insurance and crop revenue insurance. Fourth, immediate government help in natural calamities and in case of losses by wild animals. If any natural calamities occurs, farmers should be given immediate help rather than neglecting them. Even the attack of wild animals should be taken into consideration and help should be provided accordingly. Undisturbed electrical supply for farming. Sometimes farmers are not provided with efficient amount of electricity. Nowadays, many electronic machines are even used for agriculture production and many things related to it. So as electricity plays a major role in this, it should be taken into consideration. Six, complete waiving of old loans in case of crop failure. And as farming is totally dependent on nature, no one can predict anything. Sometimes crop failures may also arise. During such situation, the old loans should be vanished. 7. Creation of subsidiary occupation and other income sources. As farming is a seasonal occupation, farmers should be provided with subsidiary occupation so that they can survive for the rest of the month. 8. Providing critical information about agriculture technology. Farmers should be provided with various information regarding the new technology related to agriculture. New method to grow crops will also help them to cultivate better crops in the short span of time.
The government must provide proper institutional financial support to farmers. A good crop insurance scheme in case of crop failure and genuine relief to the affected farmers.
The Government of India should recognize the sensitivity of the issue and implement such strategies that will end this problem. We need to save our farmers from this misery as they're the one who feeds us.
Farmer suicide is a serious problem in some Indian states which requires immediate attention so that the issue is totally eradicated.
Farmers need to be educated. They need to give a better credit to access and a better terms and conditions.
Our government have to start more schemes for farmers' children so child labor number can be reduced and they will get motivated for education.
Farmers are the backbone of the Indian economy. The number of deaths of the farmer in every state of India is increasing. The agricultural sector should be valued more than before to stop this issue. So here is the bibliography from where the content has been referred to. We need a happy farmer for a happy nation. Thank you everyone for listening us.